Less than 1 week after President Obama announced the historic decision to reestablish diplomatic relations with Cuba, Carnival Corporation, the world's largest travel and leisure company, has been granted approval to take travelers to the country beginning in May of 2016.
The president and CEO of Carnival Corporation, Arnold, is here with us alongside CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. So, Arnold, this is a big deal. How were you able to go about getting approval from the U.S. government to sail to Cuba?
It is a big deal. It'll be the first time in over 50 years that a ship will be able to sail carrying passengers from the U.S. to Cuba and return on a regular basis. So we have the U.S. approval. We still have to get, Cuban approval, and we're working on that. But we intend to sail in May of 2016. And it's an application process, to answer your question. We were granted a license by OFAC under the Treasury Department, and then from the Commerce Department was the other license we had to receive. And so we applied and we got it.
And so, Arnold, who are you targeting? Who is Carnival actually looking to get to go on these trips?
Well, there's 12 approved different forms of travel currently in the U.S. to Cuba. So you have to fit within one of those 12. You have to apply through the proper process to be able to go. But the bottom line is anyone that's interested in cultural immersion. And that immersion could be on an environmental, educational, religious, economic development basis. People are, as you know, are traveling in small numbers. There's over 3 million tourists in Cuba today, of which a few 100,000 are U.S., primarily under these auspices. And so, we look forward to taking guests there that are looking for cultural exchange.
And Peter, I know you're going to be covering this. Do you see other cruise lines right now attempting to go down the same path here?
Every single cruise line has charted the waters of Cuba, 11 different harbors that are viable for them. The plans are already in place, including Carnival, that the minute the embargo is officially lifted, you'll see ships turn around in mid-ocean and start sailing into Cuba. You know I'm right. Because the demand has been pent up for over 50 years, and people want to be first on their block.
So with the Carnival now and other cruise lines looking at this, let me ask you, Arnold, in order to sort of differentiate the experience, you announced the Fathom brand last month. What is that? Yeah,
Fathom brand is a social impact brand. It's for travelers, again, who want to immerse themselves in cultural exchange and are seeking personal enrichment through those experiences. And in the case of the Dominican Republic, where Fathom originally is sailing to, in the northern region, the Puerto Plata region, it's a tremendous opportunity for travelers to have real, systematic, and authentic impact, working alongside others in the Dominican Republic, Dominicans, who have for years had social transformational impact in areas of economic development, areas of education, and areas of environment. And so guests will get a really enriched experience themselves. The travelers will grow themselves and be fulfilled in the experience, but they will also be scaling up the impact of these Dominicans who already have an impact in this region. So that was the origination of Fathom. Because of what it does, cultural immersion and cultural exchange, it happens to fit perfectly under the existing guidelines for travel to Cuba.
Let's talk about money. How much are these tickets going to cost?
Well, you can find out by going to www.fathom.org, or you can go to our corporate website.
Yeah, right.
Right? But it's a range. But for Cuba, it's about $2,190 for an outside cabin. It includes the on-the-ground experiences. It includes, of course, sailing and all the food. It's all inclusive. There are other port charges, et cetera. There may be some other cultural exchange things you might want to take advantage of, and those could be additional. For the Dominican Republic, it's right around $1,700 for that experience.
You may have noticed that last week JetBlue started service from New York to Havana, once-a-week service, but that doesn't mean people can go out and buy a ticket on that airline because it's still considered a charter flight. Lots of charter flights going. So as a result, you have to be part of that 12 deal. Right. This is the first time you can take a cruise and actually be part of it.
Right, a lot of people very interested in this. Arnold, Donald, and Peter Greenberg, thank you both for being here.
Thank you very much.